Hi, Gemini. I hope you're doing well. I want to go ahead and get into your reading for the first portion of April 2019. Happy spring. I hope everything's going well for you. Show me an energy's present for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm just going to pull your cards. I'll show them to you as we go along, but I'm just going to pull them and then we'll get started. First card out, the Hierophant. Show me energies for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The High Priestess. The Moon. The Knight of Pentacles. It's a lot of caution here, a lot of movement. Well, I'm sorry, a lot of caution towards something big. That's what I feel. Let's keep going though. Movement. The Chariot. Okay, you guys. So you have 4 major arcana so far. Show me more for Gemini. More for Gemini. 4 of Swords. Yeah, I feel hesitation, caution, but still like moving forward towards something. Let's keep going. Show me more for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The Hermit in reverse. The Page of Pentacles, followed up with the Tower. So whatever's going on, Gemini, it's gigantic. No, that's like 10 cards. I'm not pulling all of those cards for you guys. One more for Gemini. One more for, okay. Oh, all right. And Death with the Magician at the bottom of the deck. So, Gemini, huge changes, huge differences in your life. I feel in a certain way what I'm feeling, and I'm not going to go single card one by one in the direction, in the way that they were popped out. I'm going to read how I feel. So I feel a very big hesitancy here. I feel that we're moving towards something, and you may feel like things are coming a little bit too fast. I feel that things may be headed in a direction that may be throwing you off kilter a little bit. It's throwing you off of balance. You know, you have this energy here present with the Hierophant. You've got so many different major arcanas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 major arcanas out of 10 cards. Huge changes, life changes, rerouting understanding of how we want to be in our lives, how we want to show up. I feel here there's something, the Hierophant and the High Priestess, I feel that there's something secretive happening here. I feel that aside from you being, how do I say that? Aside from you being of the mindset and of the desire to pull back a little bit, to become a little bit more quiet, you know, maybe not so outwardly expressive with what's going on behind the scenes. I feel like there's something big behind the scenes. There's something that is going to, like, some of you may be deciding to not communicate your direction as far as like schooling goes, or as far as like the choices that you're making in regard to a love or a person. You may have somebody, some of you may have a situation where it's like you have somebody in your life that you are choosing to be with, or you're wanting to be with, but that may go against your family, the way that you were raised, the way that you believe, you know, the things that you may have had to cover that information up. I'm getting heavily school and relationship. Some of you, or some of you may have a baby in yourself, a baby in yourself. Yeah, some of you maybe are struggling with the idea of needing to either have an abortion or not have an abortion. That's really heavy. And it's no wonder there's so many heavy cards here. It feels like what I'm feeling is very cataclysmic and I'm very scared. I feel very scared. So for those of you who that resonates with, there you go. For those that is nothing to deal with what you're dealing with, the reading might not be for you. A lot of my readings tend to be for who they're supposed to be for. I can't control what's coming through, so I'm just going to give it to you how I get it. Under the Magician, you have the Devil as well. I feel here like, you know, aside from codependency and drug addiction and secret lovers and stuff like that, that may be part of it. But what I'm feeling here is it's like the necessity to communicate something, the necessity to talk. You know, it's vital to communicate something at this current point, at this spot that you're in. I don't know who you're talking to, but it's almost like you have to communicate what it is that you need. Some of you will be getting abortions. Some of you, abortion is on the table. Okay. And I can't fluff it up. I can't make it sugar-coated. Like, that's what I'm feeling. Some of you, there's an energy here where something is being hidden as far as like a partner goes, as far as a child goes, your direction in your life, wanting to overhaul and change everything. You know, but there's like secrecy. There's a secrecy and a dumbing down of information so that everything isn't out on the table for people. Why? I don't know, because the energy here in the present is to move forward in the direction that you want to go in. You know, when you balance yourself out, you have the opportunity to create things for yourself. You blow the doors open and you just go, you know, but right now what it feels like even in the energy moving forward is this. It's the Four of Swords. This is talking about taking a break. It's talking about, you know, intentionally removing yourself from situations, intentionally being quiet, putting people out of your life that either no longer serve it, are not on your side. And I don't mean to like talk about tit for tat or like people being on your side and bad and good, but sometimes people in our lives can be very unhealthy. They can cause us, here underneath the Devil, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. They can cause us to be out of sorts within ourselves. You know, sometimes when we experience things with family members, you have this Eight of Cups underneath the Queen of Swords. So leaving, but really mentally all over the place in regard to doing so. Sometimes when we're dealing with family situations and tradition is one of them. Tradition is coming up for me. As far as like that goes and that is concerned, you know, yes, I saw a meme the other day on Facebook and it said, shit, what did it say? Tradition is just peer pressure from dead people. Totally. Like, I'm feeling a lot of peer pressure. I'm feeling a necessity to keep things under wraps, to keep things quiet. Some of you it may be bothering you to the point where it almost feels like you are secluding yourself so much that it's like you're feeling like it's going against your natural way of being gregarious, being open, being communicative. It's the dampening down is very difficult. But I feel here too, it's like, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Moving forward in whatever this is, you know, it's talking about having done a fair amount of understanding, having done a fair amount of research within yourself. Does this sit well with me? Does this way of being, of how I've been experiencing stuff so far, or, you know, does it work for me in the future? Does this way of being still exist for me in where I'm going? You know, you have the Tower here in regard to breaking things down, allowing things to go, but sometimes that can be very difficult. Sometimes that can cause a lot of fear and frustration because it's like we have to take baby steps, especially if we're trying to reroute a way of being, a way of thinking, a way of existing, family lines, tradition. I'm feeling a lot of tradition here. Some of you may be dealing with abortion though. It's like heavy. Okay. Okay. All right. Is there anything else here? Okay, I'm going to clarify because there's so much big energy here that it just seems like pounding. So I'm going to clarify here for you, Gemini, and we will continue. Show me the Knight of Pentacles. Show me the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, we have a new beginning. We have the Fool here for the Nine of Pentacles. And also the Magician is behind the Fool and the Knight of Pentacles. You know, this is talking for me about unsteadiness, uncertainty, you know, really trying to get your bearings in a situation that's, it's like you're going to have to do it either way. That's what I'm feeling, Gemini. You're going to have to do it either way. And, you know, I think that that's really scary for some people because it's like you don't have sure footing. You don't quite understand the direction you're going in, but you have to go. You know, it's unsteady, it's uncertain. And I feel that you're keeping it very, very quiet right now. You're being under wraps. You're being covert about something. There's something quiet here. Some of you, it's deceptive. Some of you, I really don't think so. I think it's more so like you don't want people in your business. Like you don't want people it's like bucking people out of your way, out of your business. Show me the Hierophant. And the Ace of Cups for the Hierophant here. So if this is in regard to having a secret love, having a love that your family doesn't understand, society doesn't understand, here we have clear, black, and white. I'm not saying you have to be black. I'm not saying you have to be white, but there is a very big contrast there, especially within that energy of secrecy. I'm feeling things that are not shown yet, things that are one way and not quite enmeshed with the other. Show me the Chariot. So we have 3 cards popping out for the Chariot. You have the Lovers, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and the 5 of Wands. Okay, so in regard to this, it's almost as if you're not communicating things because you're trying to not create conflict here in regard to a lover. But the sort of truth is right above them. You know, it's like that is the one thing that can set you free in this situation. That is the one thing that can bring you solidarity, but also connection with others. And it may be something where it's like you may be fearing the worst, but, you know, it might not be the worst. It might be that energy of tradition, of what you feel like you're going to be excommunicated or like, you know, just shut out or shunned. Yeah, but the thing is, what is being offered here and what's coming to fruition is entirely life-changing, and it also brings a lot of love, but it brings a lot of like self-love, nurturance. It's good. It just feels like there's a lot to be communicated, and that kind of seems to be the thing that's not happening right now. Show me the High Priestess. Some of you may just have plans to move, to get new jobs. Some of you may be like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I don't want anything to do with anybody anymore. I'm doing my own way. For the High Priestess, you have the 3 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is, you know what, it's almost as if you know where you want to go, you know the direction that you're going in, and now that's on the table, it's happening, and you're keeping it quiet, and you're using your resources to figure out how you go about it, you know. Some of you may have a confidant or 2, but that's kind of it. It's not being heavily communicated, it doesn't feel like. Show me the Moon. So the Moon, we have the 9 of Swords. So whatever this situation is, as far as being unclear, it's plaguing your mind. As far as being quiet about things, it's plaguing your mind, or having to be quiet about something. Under the moon, under the Nine of Swords, though, that popped out is the Magician here. So we have the Magician presenting himself twice in your reading. The Magician speaks of energy where we manifest, we create, we bring things into existence and fruition. We move forward in our life. We we take the lessons that we've experienced in life thus far and we incorporate them. We weave them together and recognize what works for us, what doesn't work for us. And we utilize that to our greatest benefit. You know, it's where we get our baby bullshit out of the way and really like become effective in how we show up in our lives, really become aware of how we, you know, what we present in our lives and how we are, what we offer, you know, and what you're going into. And so it feels here like you have something really huge happening. You have two people here. If this is two lovers that are, you know, kind of being quiet about things, it may just be a situation where you're being open about this to people now, you know. It may be a situation where you are both in agreement to this energy. It's two people wanting to move forward. But I feel that there are definite like ties to the past or ties to family members where it's like you don't want to be bothered by that energy anymore. And I think it goes deeper than that because it's affecting you, because it's like parts of it you believe and you don't need to believe that, you know. Believe what's right for you, believe what feels good for you. If you're with a partner that feels good for you, Gemini, do it. If you're pregnant and you are secretly holding a baby, you know, and you can bring it to fruition, because that also is here too. Like, it can go 50-50 for that. I mean, there's the potential of bringing a child to fruition, but there's also to birth, but there's also the potential here for like, it feels an energy where we're very concerned about people knowing what happened, where we're very concerned about people finding out about something. Maybe you got pregnant with somebody who is not, you know, accepted by your family, by your group of friends, by your peers, accepted by you. So, show me the, yeah. Show me the Four of Swords. Show me the Four of Swords for Gemini. So the Four of Swords, you have the Five of Swords here, Gemini. I'm going to pull one more. So you have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Cups here popping out for that Four of Swords with the Five of Swords and the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm glad that those came out. So basically what I'm feeling is like, it's almost as if some of you, by going towards this direction, by moving towards this situation, it feels like it's the right thing to do. It feels like it brings you happiness. It brings you joy. It brings you things that fill you up and feel you good. But also it feels very hesitant. It feels, it's again, this energy, you know. And I want to make mention of this. This doesn't always mean that somebody's playing mind games or whatever. It can also mean you kind of lying to yourself, you stopping a situation from happening because you're concerned that somebody's going to think something, or you're going to appear the wrong way for somebody. And, you know, it's like getting in your own way because you're afraid, you know, that's self-sabotatory. This is a card of self-sabotage. Okay. This is what I'm feeling here. And it's like we're getting in the way of our own happiness here. You know, we're getting in the way of the potential for happiness and emotional growth and experiences that are great. You know, most of you know this, I'm sure, but I'm really being drawn to communicate this. Abortions are not, like, I'm pro-life, or I'm sorry, I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. But I feel like some people that are pro-life, it's like they feel like they have to, you know, and sometimes doing that, it gets in the way of your own life. I know I'm going to get like the backlash for this video. And some people that, you know, are figuring out if they want to have a child. It's like, yeah, I feel like an energy here where it's like we're needing to be selfish, or we're afraid to be selfish. I'm sorry, I'm getting so many pictures right now. I'm trying to make this as concise as possible for you, because I've already got like 3 storylines here, and somebody was like, oh, you can't read for more than one person. It's like, well, then what's the point of doing readings on YouTube that are general? Because I'm doing it for thousands of people. And the way I read and the way I receive messages, I'm picking up on a lot of different messages. It's like some have a secret relationship, some have a situation with a child that either will come into existence or will not. Yeah. Okay. That's like too many pictures. Whatever you're doing, you're moving forward away from frustration. That's what we're doing. That's what we're figuring out, Gemini. Whatever you're doing, you need to make sure that you're easing your mind. You have a graduation here. You have the 4, the 5, and now the 6 of Swords, okay? So it's almost like creating a pause, being afraid of situation, having a hard time moving through it. And then it's almost like still going back and forth in regard to, you know, what makes you happy. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I keep hearing that. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay. Show me the Magician. So you have the 7 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups in reverse, and the Hangman in reverse. All in reverse here. We've done a lot of consideration. We've come back to a situation over and over again. We've looked at it from every angle, evaluating it, and we're back. And we're going through with it, it feels. That's the movement. It's almost as if, you know, a lot of the times readers, and sometimes myself, will say, oh, the Magician, moving forward, manifestation, da-da-da-da-da. It almost makes it sound like there's like some jazzy energy behind it. Sometimes it's literally, because I'm not feeling that. What I'm feeling is like we've almost gone through every option, every potential here, and it's like we have to move forward. Whether that be in a relationship with somebody that you're with, that you're keeping it under wraps, or it's with a child that is to be born or not be born. Show me the Hermit. You have the Emperor here for the Hermit in reverse. So this is taking control of your life. You could be dealing with an Aries. You have multiple, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 major arcana here is huge. This is huge. It's changing. It's killing off a way of being, extinguishing something so something new can come forward. I really hope that this message is helpful for somebody, because this is hella confusing to me. I'm picking up on so many like blocks of images, and they're going back and forth. The Hermit with the Emperor moving forward. You know, it's an energy here. If you're not dealing with a male wanting to move forward with you, an Aries male, it doesn't have to be an Aries. It can be somebody who's very regimented, somebody who's very, I don't want to say stern, but they know the direction they're going. They rule their empire. They're not flippy-floppy. They're steady, and they are steady for what they're being incorporated in. If this is somebody that's going to have a child with you, it's like their aim is to be steady with you. If this is somebody who they are in a relationship with you, and now you've been under the dark about things, and now you're coming through about your commitment to one another, be damned what anybody else's thinks. Ooh, yeah. I feel like that communication for some of you is going to like slay the people that you've been dealing with. For some of you, it's going to be way too much for them. And they're going to bring up like this ooh, shit, they're going to bring up like the tradition stuff. Like, how could you go against this? How could you go against me? How could you go against? It's very selfish. And it's like they're pleading with the situation that they know coming down. It's like they're pleading that the situation that you're experiencing, that they know you in, is coming down now. But fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. What a selfish prick. I'm sorry. Or pricks. Fuck them. Oh, God. No, you live your life. You do what you need to do. If you're in a relationship that's multiracial, do it. If you're in a relationship, if you're if you're a lesbian and you're in a relationship with a woman and that's brand new, do it. Same sex, do it. If you are a male who's dealing with a transgender woman, or a woman who's dealing with a transgender male, entirely like not accepted, do it. I'm just feeling like whatever you're going to tell them is going to floor them, and they're going to be pleading with you. How could you do this? How could you do this? Like, oh, but it goes against what you need. It goes against your experience in this life, because you're in this experience for the reason of it. You're in this experience to experience the love of it, the change, the shift within yourself. It's not to adhere to a dead way of being, a dead way of thought. It's dead weight. Show me the Page of Pentacles here for Gemini. So you have the Seven of Swords with the Queen of Cups here, Gemini, okay? For some of you that are thinking about letting a child go, I feel that it goes against you emotionally. I feel that it wrecks you emotionally. Show me the Seven of Swords. Yeah. It kills the potential for happiness. It almost feels like this is why the situation is so hard to deal with. And I feel that this particular message is more so for the people that are dealing with like abortion or the potential of abortion. I don't feel that this particular message is for the other blocks, the other people, the relationship situation. It may be that it may be that you are pregnant with somebody that is not accepted. Okay. So it may be that you're pregnant with somebody that is not accepted, and it's like you're trying to still adhere to old ways of being and appease people that should just be out of your way. And not going forward on this new beginning feels like it kills your potential for happiness, Gemini. That's what it feels like. And you will regret it for a very, very, very long time. Speak your mind. Speak your mind. Be very clear about what makes sense for you in your life, okay? Show me the Tower for Gemini. Major Arcana all over this reading. The Five of Cups here, with this secret, this High Priestess who's showing up here twice, Gemini. I feel very heavily here, Gemini, that if you choose to go ahead and cut a child out of you or stop being in a relationship because of this persistent, like, onslaught of energy coming towards you, where it's like, it's not accepted, it's not okay, it's not right, it goes against the Bible, it goes against my religion, it goes against, you know, what the Joneses think, like, it leaves you in a hell of a lot of regret and frustration for a really long time, and very, very quiet about it. It's something that you keep inside, and this is the energy that is just, it just permeates it. Show me Death. So this came out 50-50. Three of Pentacles. So on the fence. This is talking about starting a life with somebody. It's talking about 3 people, a child, a mother, a father. It's talking about people building things together that they want to do together. It's a together card. I support you, you support me. We want to do this together. In reverse, it talks about not going through with things. It talks about not choosing to create a path with people, not go on with somebody. It's shutting things out. It's not moving. Here, we're at an impasse. We are uncertain about what we want to do and the direction that we want to go in. Okay? I suggest do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good, Gemini. I'm going to pull an oracle for you. Show me for Gemini, please. That came out. Gemini here. Okay. Priestess. You've got the High Priestess in this reading twice. How are you being called to step up and lead? How are you being called to step up and lead, Gemini? What are you being called to do? What is in your call to action? At the bottom of the deck, Starseed. What lights you up? What lights you up, Gemini? What makes you feel good? Do what you fucking need to do. Do what you fucking need to do. Get people out of your life that cause problems and friction and are adhering to bullshit ways of being and thinking. All right. I hope that this reading was helpful for you, Gemini. God, this is a really, really tough decision, whether it be love or a child. Yeah, I hope everything's well. Take care. Bye-bye.